Hello, hi everybody. It's Colleen with Chocolate Tour, and we're gonna come in tonight and make a fun shirt. So let's get everything going here. I kind of already set things up slightly to the point where I've got my ink mat in my shirt, and I'll show you guys that in 1 second. Whew, just waiting for my iPad to get going, and then we'll get rocking and rolling with tonight's project. I think waiting for my iPad is going to take longer than it's going to take me to ink this shirt. I will bet you. $10, I will bet you. That's how long it's going to take longer for this. Goodness gracious. I'm so slow. I can't even see if anybody's on. If you're on, hello. I will say hi to you as soon as I see you. If you are watching the replay, I thank you so much. Come on, iPad. Oh, it's like a turtle. Wi-Fi's on, all bars are on. Why does it not want to load? I think the problem is I have to do some updates on this, and I think my son logged in here, and I don't know the password to do these updates, and so I think that might be what's holding up the iPad from going. Let me just take a quick peek, see who's on here. Hello, love bug. Hello, Janine. My apologies, technology is definitely not my friend tonight. I'm gonna give it, oh, I thought I saw a little glimmer. I thought I saw a glimmer that it was gonna load, and then nope. Okay, there we go, yay! Finally, goodness gracious. Okay, we are on. We are gonna share. Let's share. There we go. Oh my goodness. So hello, Janine Grime. Hello, Donna. How are you fabulous ladies doing on this fine Friday evening? Whew, I don't know about you, but I am roasting up here. Oh my goodness, I'm sweating to death. Tonight, we're doing a shirt. I haven't done ink in a while, I feel like. And I actually have an event tomorrow, and I have this shirt that's got a cute little Chocolate Tour logo on the front. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's upside down and backwards, probably. But I thought I will put this on the back. And sadly, I ran out of black ink. That is #1 on my must-have list. Black ink. You can never have enough black ink, and I am out of it, and that breaks my heart. But we are going to go on to the second best ink color, in my humble opinion, Forget Me Not. Isn't that beautiful? It's such a pretty blue. I love it. And P.S. I may or may not have had a beer at dinner, so I'm a little goofy right now, so bear with me. So we're working with our Good Vibes Only. Isn't that awesome? I love this transfer. And I think it's going to look really super cute on the back. So, as I mentioned, I did place my ink mat in there, and the ink mat is strictly just to prevent the ink from bleeding through onto the front or back. I'm doing the back tonight, so front of my shirt. Typically when you do the front, you don't want it to bleed through the back. If you do not have an ink mat, you can certainly use a piece of cardboard. You could put a towel in there if you have a towel. Whatever you have at your disposal to kind of act as that barrier so your ink doesn't bleed through. Now, when I am doing inking projects, you may have heard me say, I never fuzz. I'm not going to fuzz this. I want, because our transfers are sticky. So typically when we're using chalk paste, we fuzz our transfers when we're using them on chalkboards and mirrors and glass and things like that. So it just takes away a little bit of the stickiness. When I am inking, I want it to be a nice tight seal on whatever surface I'm using. In this case, a t-shirt. If I'm using a towel, I want that nice tight seal. I don't want to accidentally have any bleed through. So what I need to do is make sure that my transfer is on here nice and tight. Now, the one issue that I have, because I did make a boo-boo early on with my ink mat, and I left it in when I used my hairdryer, and I worked my mat just a tad. So I'm hoping that that's not going to mess up my design tonight. So I'm hoping that I've got a good seal, because I can see the bubble is right here. So hopefully we'll be okay. If not, it's not the end of the world. This was a free t-shirt, so it's not the end of the world. In hindsight, I probably could have just slipped some cardboard in there just to be extra safe, but I've already got the mat in there, so we're going to go with it. So inking is very easy, very similar to using the chalk paste. It's exactly the same process. The only thing is you have to make sure that you're not getting ink on your fingers or anywhere else, and then you're accidentally touching somewhere off of the transfer and getting little dots of ink somewhere. So whenever we use ink, I like this squeegee. This is the perfect squeegee for this job because it's good. It's got a nice amount of finger space here, so I'm not accidentally putting my finger in my jar. So this one is perfect, and we were talking a little bit last night about having the right tools for the job. This is the perfect tool for tonight's job. Hello, Laurie, how are you? So that's my recommendation for the right tool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a pretty decent amount on here. Again, same with chalk, no worries. If you've got too much on here, you can always put it back into your jar. So do not worry about that. So all that I'm going to do is come in here and go in one direction. That is the only other difference with ink that I have noticed, is if you keep it in one flowing direction. So what I mean by that is going up and down, or left and right. I'm so glad you're doing great, Laurie. It's Friday. That makes me happy. It's the little things. So what I mean by that is just going up and down or left to right. I don't mix both because that, in my mind, I feel like that prevents bleed through just a pinch more. So that's just a tip that I found that has worked. So I'm just going to be careful down here because of that bubble in my mat. I'm just trying to be careful that I'm not having any bleed through here. Hopefully I don't. I'm gonna try to be careful right here where that bump is in my mat. Okay, and then we've got one letter. The other thing with ink, which is nice, it's a little bit more forgiving too, so it doesn't dry quite as quickly on the transfer. So you really don't have to worry too much about taking your time or not taking your time. You just want to make sure that you've got a nice, good coverage on there, okay? If you're worried about going off of the transfer, you could just mask around there, and then that way you don't have any worries about going off of the silkscreen transfer and getting it, you know, somewhere else on your surface. So what I'm going to do, I'm closing up my ink jar right now, and you'll notice I accidentally hit my pinky and I got a little ink on there. So what I want to do is I just want to make sure that's gone so that I'm not accidentally getting that little tiny drip of ink anywhere on my shirt, okay? And the ink comes off of your hands just like the paste does. So when we remove our transfers, we're going to do it just like when we use chalk paste. We're going to rip it kind of like a Band-Aid. It's a little, you got to be a little bit quicker with this so that you're not accidentally hitting the top where it's still wet on another piece. So I'm just going to rip kind of quickly, just like that. Wow, that came out awesome. I love this Forget-Me-Not. Holy cow, it looks so good on the white. Wow, I love it. I love it. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to just reach in here and I'm going to grab my ink mat out, and I'm just going to be careful to just kind of pull this up. The ink is still wet, so you just want to be really careful that you're not touching it to another part of the shirt. So I'm just trying to be careful here. And the mat itself is sticky too, so that makes it a little more challenging, but just take your time. So I'm going to kind of try to pull that out like a Band-Aid too. Now that I kind of sort of got it unstuck from the shirt, there we go. We got it. Perfect. Now, oh, thanks, Lori. I love this color on the white. I can't believe it. Oh, you know what I did? Shoot, I realized I packed my heat gun. Let me grab my hairdryer real quick. We'll improvise since my hairdryer is right in the next room. What we want to do is we want to make sure that the ink is good and dry before we heat set it. Using a hairdryer is not going to heat set it. It's not permanent just drying the ink. You need to either iron it or use a Wow, did I just blank on what that's called? A heat press. So let's try this. Whoop, that's a little loud. Dry this real quick. In some cases, sometimes the ink, depending upon which ink you use, takes a little longer. So, if you're finding that it is not drying, let it set overnight. If it feels a little tacky, or if you're getting ink on your finger like that, it's not dry. Gotta keep on drying it. Okay, it's still coming on my fingers a little bit, so we have to keep going. My apologies for listening to a hairdryer. Let me turn it up real quick. Hopefully that should be good. Let's see. Okay, I feel like, let me just check. I'm going to just clean my hand off real quick because I can't tell if this is old ink on my hands or if it's new ink. So let me just check this real quick. I'm just getting a paper towel and wetting my hand to get all this ink off my fingers so that I can gauge if it's still coming up or not. Nope, I feel like it's good. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I have the heat press. I'm going to set it to 330. I'm just going to wait for that to catch up real quick. While we're waiting for the heat press to warm up, you can, if you don't have one of them, what you can use is an iron. You would put it on a cotton setting. You would place parchment paper over top, and I have some old red on here. Place the parchment paper over top and iron on a cotton setting for 4 minutes on the front side. Turn it inside out. Put the parchment paper inside and then iron it inside out for 4 minutes again. So while we're waiting for that heat press to come on, I'm just going to pull that off to the side, and we are very, very quickly going to clean our transfer. It's always good to know how to take care of your transfers so that you can use them again and again. So we've got our towel and our transfer. Look how awesome that is. Most of all of the ink already came off just because we put the transfer in the water. So let's go ahead and flip this to the side that we inked on. I'm going to use my board eraser, or I can use my hand, and I can just get that ink off. And then I'm just going to set it right here onto my towel. I'm going to clean off our tools because all of our tools are reusable and can be cleaned in just water. I think that was all I had, just my squeegee and that was it. That's an easy cleanup. Okay, so then I'm just going to dry my squeegee off, put that over to the side here. Get that excess water from the back of your transfer off. There we go. I got a little bit of water on my wall. And then the final step, we're going to bring that disinfectant wipe in here. And by then, hopefully hi Kristen, how are you? Hopefully by the time this is done, our heat press will be ready to go and we can iron our shirt and be done. It's easy peasy. With the heat press, it's a lot quicker. How are you, Cindy? Hope you're having a fantastic Friday night. And that's it. Once you clean with the disinfectant wipe, you're just trying to get all of that ink that we put on the front. You'll see that previously this was done with black and it's stained, and that's a-okay. It's fine. So long as the silk screen's clear, you can use this transfer between 8 and 10 more times. That's what Chalk Couture guarantees. But if you're pretty diligent with cleaning it, you'll get a lot more uses out of that. How was that for timing? Our heat press is ready. So let's bring our shirt back in, our Good Vibes Only. How cool is that? I am absolutely in love with this color. This Forget-Me-Not is so awesome. That's it right there in our 3-ounce jar. So pretty. Okay, so let's bring that parchment paper back in. We have our heat press set to 330. I'm going to just bring this in, hopefully without burning myself. I'm going to set it right smack in the center there. And it's on for 30 seconds, and then we just hit go. It's going to count down. This is actually the perfect size. This fits perfectly in there. So I'm only going to need to do it once. Oh, no worries, Cindy. We're just, it's okay. You got to see the design. We're just making it permanent now by heat setting it, because I was saying how just making sure that the ink is dry does not make it heat set. You have to heat set it either with a heat press or with an iron. So I'm just going to show you real quick one more time. We did it on the outside, and now we're going to remove the parchment paper. It's okay, I've got some old red on here, but it's dry. It's not going to get on my shirt. I should go grab another piece of parchment paper, but that's what I had handy. So this, if you're using an iron or if you're using the heat press, you're still going to want to do it the same way. You're going to want to flip it inside out, right? And then we're going to stick that parchment paper on the inside. The reason that I do that is just in case there may have been one little damp piece where it was still a little bit wet. This will prevent it from bleeding through onto the front side of my shirt. So we're going to repeat the process, and this is going to be super fast. And we don't need the parchment paper on this side, just when we're doing it on the front side. So we're going to hit 30 seconds again, and then this will be perfect. This will be able to be washed and dried in your washing machine and in your dryer, no problems at all. It's not going to come off. I actually have a couple shirts that I've had. I have a Christmas one from last year. I have a couple t-shirts, the Awkward Since Forever t-shirt. I've washed that and worn that quite a few times. Has not faded. It's been perfect. So long as you are heat setting it, you are good to go. So let's turn that off. We are done with this guy. And now our shirt's done. That was pretty fast, right? And you've got your own awesome Good Vibes Only t-shirt. Like I said, this will be perfect for my event tomorrow because I've got the Good Vibes on the back. It's not going anywhere. And then on the front, I've got a cute little Choc Couture logo. So perfect for my event tomorrow. And how fast and easy was that to do? We are done, guys. I thank you so much for watching, for taking a little bit of time out of your Friday night to come in and watch a little talking with yours truly. And I so appreciate you. And if you would like to, if you are not currently a designer and you would like to share the Choc Couture love, all you have to do is hit that share button. Hi, Linda Davis Rose. I'm going to show you what we just did tonight. We did our Good Vibes Only on the back of our t-shirt. Isn't that awesome? Isn't that a great color? I'm obsessed with that color right now. So pretty. So that was our project for tonight. And as I was mentioning, if you are not currently a designer, and you kind of like what you saw and you wouldn't mind helping to share the Choc Couture love, just hit that share button down on the left-hand side of your mobile device. I would truly appreciate that so much. That helps to get the Choc Couture awareness out there to everybody, because I kind of happen to think it's pretty fantastic and oh so easy to use. So that was tonight's project. Thank you so much, ladies, for watching, and I hope you have a fantastic rest to your Friday night, and I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Take care. Bye.